If this video gets 200 likes by tomorrow, I will actually upload a video tomorrow. Not fucking around this time. Fuck off. We're breaking, we're soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we carry. What's up, my Nimrods? It's Gage, and I'm coming back to you with another video today. Another addition onto the series of this awful Yu-Gi-Oh card was good. The series where I like to take a trip back into the time machine and take a look at very subpar cards that actually had a place in the meta, albeit their effects may be absolutely terrible on the outside. And with the announcement of the newest regional series map, which by the way is a work of art, masterpiece, I actually took note of something, and that's that all three of the cards had a place in the meta at one point, or a spot in a deck in the meta at one point. But Alchemic Magician might be the one that people don't really know about. Alchemic Magician, which I think is the one that has the best art out of the three, is surprisingly the one that saw the least play out of the three. What a waste of perfect art. An Alchemic Magician is an XYZ monster that was released very back in the early days of when XYZs were just kicking up. We're talking, I think, Return of the Duelist is when this card first dropped. Yeah, I just checked that. Dropped as a super rare in the set. It was a very unsurprising super rare, a very awful card, just because it was nearly impossible to summon. Let's go over the effect for people that don't know what it does. Alchemic Magician is a rank 4 spellcaster type XYZ monster with the requirement of 3 level 4 spellcaster type monsters. Its effect reads, this card gains 200 attack for each spell card in your graveyard, not spell or trap. Once per turn during your end phase, you can detach 1 XYZ material from the card and send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Choose 1 spell card from your deck and then set it to your spell and trap zone. Now on the outside you might think this card's fucking awesome. You get to search any spell card from your deck and set it. That's fucking cool. But then you read the effect and you say, wow, I'm retarded, this card sucks. Everything about this card is just extremely mediocre. Its stat line is embarrassing, 15/15 for 3 level 4 spellcaster type monsters, which, by the way, that's literally unheard of at the time of this card's release, Return of the Duelist. Good luck finding literally any spellcaster type monsters being played, except maybe Crusader of Endymion when spellbooks started to pick up a little bit. Of course, the card does get 200 attack for each spell card in the graveyard, but if you think about it and compare it to another rank 4 XYZ in the form of Utopia, which has a base stat line of 2500 attack, yeah, you're using 1 extra material and you have to have 10 spell cards in the graveyard. That's fucking wrong, I'm bad at math. You have to have 5 spell cards in the graveyard to match that, and that really shouldn't be the case. I think this card should base stat line be at least 2000, but it's not, and it gets easily run over by literally anything, including Utopia. And then for its actual effect, which sounds really good, where during the end phase you detach 1 XYZ material and send a card from your hand to the graveyard to set a spell or trap, not a spell or trap, kill myself, to set a spell from your deck. You don't get to activate that spell card during the turn you set it because it's the end phase, and your opponent knows what it is, and they can get rid of it. Also to note, you do have to pitch a card from your hand, which I realize that's asking a lot for getting a spell card from your deck, but for the amount of work you had to put in by using 3 spellcaster types and then having this really fragile body on the board, something tells me you should be able to get that for free, but you don't, and that's how Alchemic Magician was born. So why was this card in this episode? How did this card just end up being good? It's impossible to summon in most scenarios. Well, let me take you back to a really dark time, and that was the full power Pepe deck. At the start of January of 2016, we got Breakers of Shadows released to us, which just dropped a huge bomb onto the meta in the form of having PERFORMAGE released with Monkey Board and Guitar Turtle being a deadly combo. But we also got the rest of the arsenal for PERFORMAGEs, which was also kind of the other pay of the Pepe, PERFORMAGEs and PERFORMAGEs. And the thing about PERFORMAGEs, they were all conveniently level 4 spellcaster type monsters. You might recognize some faces like PERFORMAGE Damage Juggler or PERFORMAGE Plushfire, 2 cards that are currently sitting on the ban list just because of how powerful they were. With cards like these, PERFORMAGE Plushfire and PERFORMAGE Damage Juggler, with also cards like Hat Tricker and of course Trick Clown, which is still to us now, we actually had a decent amount of level 4 spellcaster type monsters. But why would we still play this shitty Alchemic Magician card? Well, at the time, this was pretty much going to be a guaranteed tier 0 format. So people actually played Alchemic Magician to search out a very, very good card, which just recently came off the ban list. That card is Wavering Eyes. Since pendulums were absolutely everywhere in the game, having Wavering Eyes access to you and resolving it for 4 was literally game breaking. It would literally swing the game in your favor. Alchemic Magician surprisingly had a really efficient way to get that card out of your deck if you didn't draw it, of course, when you had 3 copies to you. Just getting a Wavering Eyes and being able to activate it, again, like I said, swings games immensely. It literally puts you in states that you just shouldn't be in. It was probably the only saving grace of this format, being the fact that you could Wavering Eyes a plush fire in your scale, or, you know, I don't know, there's other things that you could luster pendulum it. Just popping a plush fire in your scale was pretty good, and then just Wavering Eyes was like the only way to come back from really disgusting boards being put out. We have to remember cards like Cyber Dragon Infinity were also a thing too. Overall, the state of the game was indisputably tier 0. Pepe. It was gross, and that's actually what led to one of the first emergency ban lists we had in a very long time. You guys might remember that. I'll link it down below, actually, if you guys want to check it out. I don't remember all the semantics of it, but if you want to see exactly what was hit, it was a Bombshell, Plush Fire was banned, and Damage Juggler, I believe, were both banned very shortly after their release, just because of how powerful the cards were. But back to Alchemic Magician, surprisingly, this card saw some play, and it was just a very niche scenario. I think the card did bounce up to around 15 bucks at one time, which it's unheard of for a card that was sitting around $1 for the longest time just because it was deemed unplayable by the community. But I do strongly believe that if the format wasn't tier 0, if there was other decks to be played, we would not see a card like Alchemic Magician played. But it just came to that tipping point where pendulums were kind of a problem, so people had to find ways to work around that. Alchemic Magician seemed to have that fit. Let me know what you guys think of Alchemic Magician. I think it's pretty awesome how all 3 magicians have seen play throughout their formats. That's what Slacker... You know what? Slacker hasn't seen play, has it? Alright, well, Alchemic was played, Downward was played, and now we have Akashic Magician being played. I just think that's kind of cool. They don't represent my girl Slacker on the mat. I just realized that. Slacker Magician would not be happy. Come back, Slacker. We miss you. We need somebody making memes around here if I'm not doing it.
That's all, folks.
If you guys liked the video, be sure to like the video, thumbs up the video, how much best you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I love you guys. Follow my social media so I don't get sad. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys, hopefully, if this video reaches that like count, tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.